Tracy Miller never imagined that her husband would run her over and leave her for dead. But there were warning signs.
More than 10 years ago, I was ran over by a car and left for dead 3 times in that one incident. That was the last of many. The relationship did not start out abusive. I had a beautiful beginning. The man that I was in relationship with was very romantic, but very controlling. Not only was he controlling, but I was isolated from family members, from friends, from everyone that was dear and close to me. At the time, I thought that it was signs of love and admiration as well as concern for me and my well-being, but it was a controlled mechanism that was used to gain control of me by the abuser. It went from being isolated, then name calling, pushing, hitting, kicking, even pushed down a flight of stairs in one incident.
Despite these warning signs, Tracy, like many others, chose to stay in this relationship.
So the more violent he got, the more I held on to the beginning of the relationship. It was branded in my mind that maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe I didn't cook his meal correctly. Maybe I am spending too much money, even if it was just $5 on necessities and things that I needed to live a healthy life. I had to come over the fear of being rejected, the fear of not being loved and accepted by others, just the way I am as a person. I had to become to know that even though I was abused, that there's life after abuse.
There are many organizations that will assist women in their attempts to end the cycle of domestic violence.
The last incident I remember being ran over by a car and left for dead in a parking lot. I was taken to the emergency room. One of the officers were very concerned for my well-being, so he was adamant about me sharing my story, sharing what I went through so that the justice system can play their part in making sure not only was I protected, but my son was protected as well. I was then taken to a shelter, and I fought against that because I was thinking, being from a big city, that a shelter is a horrible place. It's not. I was taken to the Women's Center, loving, warm environment. I got lots of counseling, lots of support from the people in the community. So that helped me start my new beginning.
Carolyn Alford is the president of the board of directors for the Onslow Women's Center.
I see young women in today's society that no longer value themselves. They no longer expect men to marry them. They no longer expect men to care for them, to help them care for their children. And there's something wrong with that. Men have a role to play in society as well as women, and they need to come together as equal partners. They need to care for each other. They need to protect each other, and they need to grow together as a family.
Love is not love if it has to hurt. Love is not love if I had to be ran over by a car or pushed down a flight of steps or put out half naked in the middle of the night. That's not love. Love is not taking me from the things that I hold dear to me. So I encourage any man, any woman, boy, girl, or child, that you don't have to take abuse. You don't have to stay there and allow your children to be abused physically or mentally. No one deserves to be abused. No one deserves to suffer. And so this is my story, and I share it publicly with you because I have no shame. My life was spared so that I could tell my story, so that I can say I got ran over by a car 3 times in one incident, so you don't have to. You know, I was put out so you don't have to. I went to the shelter so that I can come back and tell others that the shelter is clean. The executive director does care. The court advocate is there for your well-being. There are lawyers batting and fighting for laws to be changed. I went through all that so you don't have to. So if you seeing these signs of manipulation, domination, control, isolation, the name calling, you know, the little thing, if you're dependent, if you feel that you're in a place today that tomorrow you could not live without this person, that's the red flag. That's the warning signs. You can get out.
Physical violence is estimated to occur in 4 to 6 million intimate relationships each year in the United States. Love shouldn't hurt. There are resources out there to help you out of an abusive relationship. Make sure you and your family and friends are not a statistic. Look for the warning signs and seek help. Don't be a victim, be a survivor.